Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Fab 5 hop. For those of you who don't know me, hello, my name is Steph Williams. I'm a paper crafter and card maker from Queensland, Australia. Every couple of months, the Fab 5 come together for a YouTube hop and giveaway, and this time the theme is Doggone It, We Love Lawn Fawn. So expect to see a lot of very cute puppies, and as with all of our hops, we're going to be using a combination of new Lawn Fawn products and our old ones too. To get started, I'm first going to flick through a bunch of my stamp sets. I didn't end up using all of these, but I did get out a whole bunch of my spooky ones because I wanted to make a spooky puppy themed card. And here I'm just going to go through them and point to the images that I thought I would end up using. Happy Halloween is a major feature in this one, as is the Simply Celebrate Fall. Some bits and pieces from a few other sets that contain costumes and treats. But the Yappy Birthday and the Yappy Birthday add-on, these new puppy sets, are the ones that I probably use the most for this card. Once I've picked out all my images, I then get on to stamping. I might not show all of these stamps because there is quite a few, but I will show this bit here. I'm using my little jack-o'-lantern faces from one of my other sets, and I'm stamping them directly onto these pumpkins from Simply Celebrate Fall, just to make them look a little bit more spooky. I absolutely love all of these doggos. They're just so cute. I love all the different designs. And I also kind of love looking at this and seeing that much older stamp in the Happy Halloween stamp set. That little doggy who's forward facing, he kind of looks like a dachshund. It's just amazing to see like how cute that was, but how cute and different Lawn Fawn's designs are now. How much they've changed over the years. I honestly didn't think I could love anything more than those Lawn Fawn designs, but they just keep getting cuter. Of course, today I had to go with something just a little bit complicated. I can never just do something that's super nice and easy. Slimline cards for me are very difficult to take photos of, to get the backgrounds right, to fit the whole thing in the frame and actually make it look good. I feel like they always look better in the videos as I'm making them than they do in the final photos. But that's just me, they just don't fit nicely. And of course, they don't fit very well with these square stencils. So you'll see me struggle with this one, lining everything up. And I actually do manage to go over the edge of my stencil here. Don't know how I managed to do that. I mean, it's been a while since I've done some crafting and some stencil work, clearly. But you'll see, I do manage to cover that up a bit later. This sized slimline die that I've used here is the small stitched one. It does come with those little lifter flaps that I'm obviously not using here today, but if you're wondering what size it is, that's the one I've got. I actually don't own the larger ones. I really should add them to my collection, but I do find that this one gives me more than enough room to create really cute scenes. While that background is already looking very cute with those pastel stars, I am just going to use a little bit of each of my inks. I've got some tumbled glass, spun sugar, and shaded lilac. I feel like these are very cute, almost like cotton candy colours that go really well together, and I'm just wetting them down on my mat with a little bit of water and flicking it all over my background. I feel that this just ties all those colours together nicely and fills in all of those larger white spaces. Of course, my card needs a little bit of sparkle, so I'm using my white watercolour pigment over the top of that as well. I am just going to freeze the frame right there in case you wanted to see exactly which Copic markers that I'm using today. I am just going with pastel colours with a splash of orange as well for Halloween, but the other colours really do match the colours of those inks I just used for the background. I tried to keep this colour scheme super simple. I've added just a little bit of brown for some of the doggies, and I've added some grey as well, but not much more than that. Now my colouring always goes for a little while, and there are quite a few images to colour in here, so I have sped it up quite a bit. But as you can see, my technique is the same as always. I use a lighter Copic marker to colour in the image, I use a darker one in the same family to colour in the shadows, and then I go over with that light one again just to blend them out nicely. And while I'm here and we've got a few minutes, now is the perfect time to talk about this hop. So for those of you who don't know, the Fab 5 hop is a bunch of baby YouTube channels with creators who absolutely adore Lawn Fawn and love making cards to inspire you. So if you've never joined us for a hop, all you have to do is go to the description box for this video and the next stop will be linked right there. There's only 5 stops on this hop, so it's really not a lot. You can watch it in the morning as you do your crafting. That's usually what I do. I set myself up with my laptop and watch all the other videos from my friends while I get some work done at my desk. If you'd like to join in on the giveaway, that is super simple. This giveaway is sponsored by Lawn Fawn. Again, we just love and appreciate that they sponsor our tiny little hop. And all you have to do to go in the draw to win that gift voucher is leave us a comment on every stop. It doesn't have to be anything big, a simple hello will do. I always love to know where my viewers are from, so if you would also like to say which country you're from, I do love that. And as I mentioned before, the theme for this hop is Doggone It, We Love Lawn Fawn. That is how I guess we all found each other, this little crafty group. We really do love Lawn Fawn. My collection is getting quite out of hand. It's not my fault. Lawn Fawn just keep bringing out really cute things and I can't help but keep adding them to my collection. These dogs were some of the latest ones to be added and I just really love them. I'd love to know, how's your Lawn Fawn collection going? And have you started to see what new things are coming out very soon? The spooky season is coming up, which means Lawn Fawn's Halloween release is just around the corner, and I for one cannot wait to get my hands on anything to do with bats and spiders and all things spooky. You may have noticed now I have switched over from my Copic markers and I am now using a white jelly roll pen for the highlights on these images. This is just a super simple technique that I use to brighten up some areas to maybe look like there's a little bit of light on these characters, and it does add just a little bit of dimension, which I kind of need considering I do keep my shading with my Copic markers incredibly simple. This just makes everything pop a little bit more. I especially love adding this to the eyes and the cheek. It just makes their faces, I don't know, look just happy. I do use a size 1 for most of the larger images. I do have a 0.8 which I might use for smaller things, and for the tiny itty bitty things like the spider's eyes and their little cheeks, I usually use the 0.5. Now you're probably thinking, Steph, you still haven't learned, have you? And I have not. I do have an incredibly awful habit of stamping directly on to my beautifully made backgrounds that are ready to use. And so I've done that again today, and thankfully it turned out perfectly. Lawn Fawn's sentiments are very clear and crisp, and so long as my paper doesn't move and it's stuck down nicely with those magnets, I usually have absolutely no troubles with stamping directly onto those backgrounds, but it is always a risk. I maybe should have done a banner for this one and embossed it, but if I can get away with not embossing, I'll do that. So you would have seen that I added my double-sided tape to my background already so that I don't need to apply any pressure to the back once my three-dimensional pieces are stuck on, so I don't squish them. And now I am just adding all these little details to these doggies, essentially just setting them up, getting them ready for the scene so that they're all glued together and I can kind of work with them as larger pieces rather than all these little itty bitty pieces at once that will all need time to dry. And this is my favourite part of any card, and that is when I get to play with all the images and shuffle them around and decide where they're all going to be stuck down. So while I have glued those dogs directly down to the background, I have added foam squares to my pumpkins, and I've added foam squares to this doggy off to the side and to the doggy with the wagon as well, just so that I've got like a background layer and a layer that has been raised at the front. I'm not too fussed about a few little things hanging over the edges, the little handle for the wagon and the balloons up in the other corner, because I'm going to stick it on a card base that is a little bit bigger and allows for that. The edge of that spider web, however, I did decide to trim. I didn't really think that maybe I could keep that there. I might have had I measured out my card base earlier, but I decided to trim it here. So here I am just whipping up a card base for my slimline card front to sit on. I don't really do many measurements, maybe I should. I kind of just do it by eye, just so that it had, I guess, a little bit of a border around that stitched edging. I did set my card front on here while it was white, and it kind of looked a little washed out. Like the edges were getting lost, and so I thought maybe just adding a little bit of these pastel colors to the background would frame it a little bit. And I actually really love how this turned out. And now the last step here is to remove the backing to that double-sided tape and to stick this down onto my card base. And there we have it. This Halloween card is complete for our Doggone It, We Love Lawn Fawn hop and giveaway. I'd love to know in the comments what you think of this project, and I hope that you'll hop along to all of the other crafters as well. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.